If you're ready to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start making real, lasting changes in your life, then you're in the right place. In the next few minutes, you'll hear words that could spark the shift you've been looking for, words that will challenge your thinking and push you toward unstoppable action. We all face obstacles. We all experience setbacks. But what truly separates those who succeed from those who fall short is the ability to keep going, to keep showing up, and to keep doing the work day in and day out. Jim Rohn's wisdom has inspired millions because he doesn't just motivate you. He gives you the practical steps to turn your dreams into reality. In this video, we're diving into the daily habits, mindset shifts, and key principles that will help you build momentum, stay focused, and keep pushing forward no matter the challenges. It's time to start applying these life-changing lessons to your own journey. And I promise you, if you do, nothing will be able to stop you. So, stay with us, absorb the wisdom, and let's make the next chapter of your life the most unstoppable one yet. Let's get started. Number 1, start with the power of choice. Every day, you are making decisions that will affect your future. Now, I know that sounds pretty simple, but let me explain how important that is. Here's the truth. The power of choice is something that nobody can take away from you. No matter where you are in life, no matter your background or your current circumstances, you always have the power to make choices that will lead you to success. Every morning you wake up, you're presented with choices. Some of them are small, like what to have for breakfast or whether to hit the snooze button one more time, but others are bigger. Will you take that extra step towards your goal today? Will you work on your personal growth? Or will you stay in the comfort of what's familiar? Now, I want you to understand something very clearly. Your future is built on the choices you make today. Every decision, big or small, leads you down a specific path. It's not your circumstances that define your life, it's the decisions you make in response to those circumstances. Let me give you an example. Imagine a person who wakes up in the morning, decides to go for a run instead of staying in bed. That's a small choice, right? But it's a powerful one. Over time, that habit of choosing to exercise every morning starts to build up. It leads to better health, more energy, and greater confidence. And because they feel better, they make better decisions in other areas of their life. Now, take the person who chooses to hit the snooze button every day. That person is choosing to delay their success. Maybe it's just 1 extra hour of sleep, but over time, that choice adds up. Instead of using that hour to get ahead, they're wasting it, staying in a comfort zone. What happens when you make those small choices to take action every day? You begin to build momentum. You start stacking good decisions on top of good decisions. Each one leads you closer to where you want to be. The power of choice isn't just about the big decisions. It's about the little decisions too. It's the everyday choices that create the foundation for your success. But let's talk about what happens when you don't take ownership of your choices. Some people spend their lives blaming others. They blame their parents, their job, their upbringing, their environment. They think that their circumstances control their future. But that's not true. You see, you can't always control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond to it. The most successful people in the world are the ones who've learned to take responsibility for their choices. They don't blame others. They don't make excuses. They take control of their lives and steer them in the direction they want to go. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but Jim, I didn't choose to face these challenges. I didn't choose to go through this difficult situation. And I get it. Life can be tough. And we all face challenges. But here's the thing. While you may not choose the challenges you face, you always choose how you respond to them. And that response will shape the future you create. So what do you need to do to harness the power of choice? First, take a moment every day to be aware of your decisions. Pay attention to what you're choosing. Are you choosing to work towards your goals? Or are you choosing to stay in your comfort zone? Are you choosing to take responsibility for your life? Or are you blaming others for where you are? Second, make decisions with your future in mind. When you make choices, ask yourself, will this get me closer to my goals or further away? It doesn't always have to be a huge leap, but make sure that your choices are aligned with the person you want to become. And finally, remember that every small choice adds up. No decision is too small to matter. If you make the right choices consistently, they will compound over time and lead to big results. I want you to think about your life right now. Think about where you want to go. Picture the person you want to become. What choices do you need to make today to get there? What choices do you need to make in the next hour, the next day, the next week? The power of choice is in your hands. It's up to you to make the decisions that will lead you to success. So, take responsibility for your choices. Take action on what you can control. Every day is a new opportunity to choose your path. And I promise you, if you make the right choices, your life will change for the better. Remember, your future is not determined by what happens to you. It's determined by the choices you make. Make the right choices, and you'll be unstoppable. Number 2, embrace personal responsibility. Personal responsibility. This is where you stop pointing fingers, stop looking for excuses, and start taking control of your own life. It all starts with you. When you take personal responsibility for your life, you stop being a victim of circumstances. You stop blaming other people, your past, your family, or your environment for where you are. You realize that the power to shape your future is entirely in your hands. And that's the first step to becoming truly unstoppable. The reason most people don't achieve what they want is because they don't take responsibility for their actions. They make excuses. They say, if only I had more money, or if only I had more time, or if only I had better luck. But here's the hard truth. It's not about your circumstances, it's about what you decide to do with them. The minute you take full responsibility for where you are, that's the moment you can begin to change your life. Let's think about this for a moment. Every person who's achieved success has gone through difficulties. It doesn't matter where they came from or what they've been through. They made a decision to take full responsibility for their actions in their life. They didn't blame anyone else. They didn't sit back and wait for life to hand them opportunities. They took action. The power of personal responsibility means that you acknowledge your own role in your successes and failures. You take full ownership. If something goes wrong, you look at how you can change, improve, and move forward, instead of blaming someone else or complaining about how unfair life is. Here's the thing, nothing is ever handed to you. If you want something, you have to work for it. You have to choose it every day. For example, let's say you want to get in better shape. It's easy to say, I just don't have the time. But when you take responsibility for your choices, you start asking yourself different questions. How can I make time for my health? What can I change in my daily routine to prioritize exercise? You stop waiting for the right moment to fall into your lap and start creating that moment yourself. Personal responsibility means you stop making excuses. It means you stop waiting for the perfect conditions. There will never be a perfect time. There will never be a perfect set of circumstances. The truth is, most successful people didn't have it easy. They were just willing to take responsibility for their actions, put in the work, and move forward regardless of their situation. I know a lot of you out there might be thinking, well, Jim, you don't know what I've been through. You don't know my story. And you're right. I don't know your exact story. But I do know this, every person who's ever been successful has had a story. Every person who's made something of themselves has faced obstacles. They've had to rise above adversity, but they didn't wait for someone else to change things for them. They took control. Now, this doesn't mean you have to do everything alone. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you're never allowed to ask for help or rely on others. It just means you don't blame anyone else when things go wrong. You acknowledge that no matter what happens, your actions will determine the outcome. You can choose how you respond to every challenge you face. It's all about your mindset. The people who succeed don't have some kind of magic power. They just have a mindset that says, no matter what happens, I'm in charge of how I respond. I can't control everything, but I can control my attitude, my effort, and my decisions. They take responsibility for their attitudes, actions, and reactions. And that's what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. The minute you start taking responsibility for your actions, something powerful happens. You stop feeling like a victim, and you start feeling empowered. You start realizing that you are capable of making choices that will change your life. You begin to see the opportunities around you, and instead of waiting for them to come to you, you start going after them. I want you to ask yourself right now, what are the areas in your life where you're still waiting for someone or something else to make a change? Maybe it's your job, your health, your relationships, or your finances. Whatever it is, I want you to realize that the first step to making a real change is taking full responsibility. Own your choices. Own your actions. Own your life. Now, I'm not saying that things will always go the way you plan. Life will throw curveballs, and you'll face setbacks. But when you take responsibility for how you handle those setbacks, you can move past them and keep moving forward. Don't let obstacles define you. Let your response to them define you. I want you to remember this: no one has control over your life except you. You are the only one who can change your future. The minute you take responsibility for your actions, you take back the power to create your life on your terms. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission or the right circumstances. You already have everything you need. Success starts with taking responsibility. It starts with making the decision that you will not let anything or anyone hold you back. So, take responsibility for your life. Make the choices that will get you where you want to go. And when things don't go your way, don't look for someone to blame. Look for the lesson. Look for the opportunity to grow and become better. Remember, the path to success isn't easy, but it's always worth it. You've got what it takes, but it starts with taking full responsibility for where you are, where you're going, and how you'll get there. Number 3, commit to personal growth. Imagine waking up every day with a sense of purpose, knowing that the life you're living today is a result of the decisions you've made to grow, to improve, and to become the best version of yourself. That's what personal growth is all about. And I want to tell you right now that it's something you have to commit to every single day. Personal growth isn't something that just happens. It doesn't just fall into your lap. You can't sit back and wait for it to come to you. You have to pursue it actively, intentionally, and with everything you've got. If you want to grow, if you want to become the person you know you can be, you need to make a conscious decision to commit to personal growth every single day. And here's the thing: you don't have to have all the answers right away. You don't need to have everything figured out. What matters is that you're on the path. What matters is that every day you're putting in the work to learn, to grow, and to improve. Success is not a destination, it's a journey. And that journey begins with your decision to commit to growth. Growth is not just about learning new skills or acquiring new knowledge. It's also about developing your character, your mindset, and your ability to handle life's challenges. It's about becoming the person who is capable of achieving everything you want in life. Not because you were born with some special talent, but because you've decided that growth is non-negotiable for you. Think about it. The most successful people in the world didn't get to where they are by being complacent. They didn't get to the top by simply going through the motions and waiting for something to happen. No, they got there by committing to personal growth every single day. They made it a priority to become better, smarter, stronger, and more resilient every single day. So what does that look like in practical terms? How do you commit to personal growth every day? It starts with your mindset. You have to wake up every day and make the choice to grow. You have to make a decision to learn something new, to challenge yourself to get better at something that matters to you. If you're in business, commit to learning more about your industry, your customers, your market. If you're in a personal relationship, commit to being a better listener, a better communicator, a better partner. It doesn't matter what area of life you want to improve. The first step is always the same: commit to growth. Once you've made that decision, the next step is to develop a habit of growth. You see, growth doesn't happen overnight. It's not a one-time event, and it's not something that can be rushed. Growth happens through consistent, focused action over time. If you want to grow, you need to make it a part of your daily routine. Whether it's reading a book, listening to a podcast, taking an online course, or even just having a meaningful conversation with someone who can challenge your thinking, you need to be intentional about growth every day. The power of consistent effort cannot be overstated. Think about your favorite athletes, musicians, or business leaders. They didn't get to the top because they had one big moment of brilliance. They got there because they showed up every day in and day out, and committed to getting better. They practiced. They worked. They failed. And then they got up and did it all over again. Personal growth requires the same kind of dedication. It requires the willingness to fail, to stumble, to fall short, and then to get back up and try again. It's about learning from your mistakes, not letting them define you, and using them as stepping stones to get better. When you commit to growth, you understand that failure is just a part of the process. It's not something to be afraid of. It's something to embrace, because it's in those moments of failure that you learn the most. But here's the kicker. Growth isn't just about achieving a goal or hitting a target. It's about becoming the kind of person who can handle bigger challenges and seize bigger opportunities. It's about becoming someone who is always growing, always learning, and always improving. You see, growth isn't a destination. It's a lifelong journey. The person you are today is not the person you will be a year from now. And that's exciting. Because every day that you commit to growth, you're becoming more capable, more confident, and more prepared for the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. If you want to be the best version of yourself, you have to commit to personal growth. And that means making it a priority every day. You have to take that extra step, go the extra mile, and do what others aren't willing to do. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from pushing yourself outside of your limits, challenging your assumptions, and striving for more. You have to get comfortable with discomfort. Growth happens when you're willing to put in the hard work, when you're willing to push through the moments when you want to quit, when you're willing to keep going even when it feels like you're not getting anywhere. Because here's the truth. The results don't always show up immediately. Sometimes you have to trust the process, even when you can't see the progress. You see, personal growth isn't always about instant results. It's about creating a foundation that will support long-term success. It's about building habits that will carry you through the ups and downs of life. When you commit to personal growth every day, you're not just changing your current situation. You're preparing yourself for everything that's to come. You're building a future that's brighter, stronger, and more successful than anything you've ever imagined. So make the decision today. Commit to growth. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for everything to line up just right. Start today, right where you are. And every day, take one small step toward becoming the person you want to be. Because personal growth isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. It's the key to unlocking your full potential. It's what will make you unstoppable. Number 4, consistency over time. Have you ever found yourself stuck in a routine, thinking you're doing all the right things, but you're not seeing the progress you expected? It's frustrating, isn't it? You put in the work, you give it your best shot, and yet something's missing. Let me tell you, the secret isn't in working harder. It's in working smarter, and consistency is the key to it all. Think about the most successful people you admire. They didn't get where they are by jumping from one thing to another, hoping that something would stick. They didn't succeed because of a flash of brilliance or one stroke of luck. No, they succeeded because they showed up day in and day out, and they did the work consistently. Success is not about big, dramatic leaps forward. It's about showing up and doing the work day after day, no matter what. Consistency is the foundation of progress. It's the thing that separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up halfway through. It's easy to get excited when you start something new, but what separates the achievers from the dreamers is their ability to stay consistent, even when things get tough, when the excitement fades, and when it feels like nothing is changing. The truth is, we live in a world that loves instant results. We see the success stories on social media, and we think that's how it's supposed to happen for us too. We want the big win right now, the big break today, but real success, it doesn't work that way. It takes time. It takes patience. And above all, it takes consistency. Let me break it down for you. Imagine you're trying to build a muscle. You're not going to lift a heavy weight once and expect to be strong. It takes repetition. You've got to show up every single day, doing the right exercises, pushing yourself a little further each time. Eventually, those muscles will grow, but only because you stayed consistent in your efforts. And this applies to everything in life: your career, your relationships, your personal growth, your health. Consistency doesn't mean doing the same thing over and over without adjusting. It means sticking to a plan, putting in the effort, and staying on course even when you can't see the results right away. It's easy to get discouraged when you're not seeing immediate changes, but that's where most people give up. They expect instant gratification, but the truth is, success is built in the long term. It's built on small, consistent actions that compound over time. Let's take a moment and think about how you can apply this in your own life. What's something you've been wanting to achieve but haven't seen the results you were hoping for? Maybe it's getting fit, starting a business, or learning a new skill. The question is, have you been consistent? Are you showing up every day, putting in the work, and trusting the process? If not, that's okay. Now is the time to make the shift. You don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to get it all right from the start. You just need to commit to consistency. The more you show up, the more momentum you'll build. And as you continue to show up, even when it feels like no one's noticing, you'll start to see the results too. Let me tell you, it's not always easy. There will be days when you don't feel like it. There will be days when the road gets tough, when life throws obstacles your way, and when you wonder if it's all worth it. But those are the moments that matter the most. Those are the days when your consistency will pay off. Because when you push through the tough days, when you keep going even when you don't feel like it, that's when real growth happens. And here's something I've learned over the years. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing the work, showing up, and being willing to adapt along the way. You might try something and it doesn't work. That's okay. You learn from it, you adjust, and you keep going. The only failure is when you stop showing up. Now think about how this can transform your life. If you commit to showing up consistently, whether it's working on your business, your health, or your personal growth, you'll get stronger, more skilled, and more confident. The consistency will compound. At first, the results may feel slow, but over time, you'll start to see massive progress. The key is patience. It's understanding that growth doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen if you stay consistent. It's knowing that every small effort you put in today is a step closer to where you want to be tomorrow. And most importantly, it's understanding that your future success is built on the actions you take today, one day at a time. Think about it. What would your life look like if you showed up every single day, consistently working on your goals? What would happen if you committed to doing the little things that matter every day? No matter what, you'd be unstoppable. Consistency is what creates momentum. And momentum, my friend, is what makes the difference between success and failure. When you're consistent, you start to gain momentum, and that momentum carries you forward, even on the toughest days. It's the engine that drives you toward your goals. Without it, you're just stuck, spinning your wheels. So, commit to consistency. Show up every day. Do the work no matter how small it seems. And remember, success isn't about instant results. It's about consistent effort, day after day, even when no one is watching. That's what creates lasting change. Your future is built on your daily habits, and consistency is the habit that will carry you to greatness. Stay the course. Keep going, even when you don't see immediate results. And most importantly, never give up. Keep showing up. Because the more you stay consistent, the closer you get to the life you've always dreamed of. Number 5, set powerful, clear goals. What if I told you that the single most important thing you can do to change your life, your future, and your destiny is to set clear, powerful goals? Goals that excite you, that challenge you, and that give you something to aim for. Because that's where everything starts, right there, with the power of setting the right goals. Think about this for a second. Without goals, you're just wandering around, reacting to life instead of taking control. You're just going with the flow wherever life takes you. But when you set clear, powerful goals, everything changes. Suddenly you have direction. You have purpose. You know where you're going. And more importantly, you know how to get there. Now, I know that setting goals is something most people hear about all the time. You hear it in books, seminars, podcasts, everyone talks about it. But do you really understand why setting goals is so crucial? Do you really understand how they can transform everything about your life? Setting goals isn't just about writing down what you want to achieve. It's not about putting a few things on paper and hoping they happen. No, it's about creating a roadmap for your life. It's about deciding with intention where you want to go and committing to the path that will get you there. Setting goals is a decision to take control of your life, to stop drifting, and to start making progress. The first thing to understand is that setting clear goals gives you clarity. When you know exactly what you want to achieve, you stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You stop going in circles and focus on what will actually move you forward. You've heard the saying, a goal without a plan is just a wish it's true. If you don't have a clear goal, then every day you're just reacting, trying to figure things out. But when you set a clear goal, you create focus. You know exactly where you're headed, and you can plan your steps to get there. But here's the thing, clear goals are more than just a roadmap. They ignite something deep inside of you. They create a fire within you, a sense of excitement, of purpose, and of passion. When you set a powerful goal, something shifts. You stop dragging yourself through the day. You stop waking up just to get through the day. Instead, you wake up with energy, with focus, with a burning desire to make progress. Your goals become your motivation. They're the reason you keep going when things get tough. They give you the strength to push through challenges, to keep going when you feel like giving up. Setting powerful, clear goals also gives you something to measure. It's like having a scorecard for your life. You can track your progress, you can see how far you've come and know when you've reached a milestone. And that's important. Because when you can measure your progress, you can celebrate your wins, you can acknowledge the small victories along the way. And that boosts your confidence. It reminds you that you're moving in the right direction. Every time you hit a goal, no matter how small, it's like adding fuel to the fire that keeps you going. You see that what you're doing is working, and that drives you to keep pushing. But let me tell you, this goal setting isn't always easy. It's not always as simple as writing down what you want and then going after it. Sometimes you'll face obstacles. Sometimes you'll encounter setbacks and it will feel like things aren't moving as fast as you want. There will be times when you're tempted to quit. When you think, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe this goal is too big, too unrealistic. But this is where most people give up. This is where they throw in the towel and walk away from their dreams. Don't be that person. When you set a goal, you commit to the process. And that process is rarely a straight line. There will be ups and downs. There will be times when progress feels slow. But that's where the magic happens. When things get tough, that's when your commitment to your goals matters most. This is when you have to dig deep, push through the doubt, and stay on course. And here's something important to keep in mind when you set clear, powerful goals. You start to align your actions with your intentions. Every decision you make, every action you take, becomes more deliberate. Instead of wasting time on things that don't matter, you focus on what will move you closer to your goal. You prioritize your time, your energy, and your efforts. You start to make better choices because you have clarity. You know that everything you do is either moving you toward your goal or away from it. The key is making your goals specific, measurable, and meaningful. It's not enough to say, I want to be successful. That's too vague. Instead, define what success looks like for you. Is it a certain income? Is it a specific position in your career? Is it starting your own business? Once you have a clear picture of what success looks like, break it down into smaller, actionable steps. What can you do every day to move closer to that goal? This is where the real work happens. It's not about big, dramatic gestures. It's about taking consistent, focused action every day. When you set goals and commit to them, you're committing to the work that will get you there. You're committing to the small actions that, when repeated over time, create big results. The beauty of goal setting is that it gives you the power to shape your future. When you set clear goals, you stop letting life dictate where you go. You take the driver's seat, you choose your destination. And while the journey might not always be easy, it's always worth it. The feeling of reaching a goal, of seeing your dreams come to life, is unlike anything else. It's the feeling of accomplishment, of pride, and of knowing that you did it. So I want you to think about the goals you have for your life. What do you really want to achieve? What is your vision for the future? Now, take a moment and make those goals clear, powerful, and specific. Write them down. Commit to them. And then get to work. Every step you take, no matter how small, will bring you closer to those goals. You can do this. You have everything you need to succeed. The only thing standing between you and your goals is your commitment to them. So take the first step today and never look back. Your future is waiting for you. Number 6, overcome fear and doubt. If you could push through the barriers in your mind that hold you back, what if you could go after what you truly want without hesitation, without second-guessing yourself? Today, I'm going to show you how to break through those walls, how to embrace the life you deserve, and how to become unstoppable by conquering the fear and doubt that try to keep you stuck. Fear and doubt, they are part of the human experience. We all feel them. At some point in our lives, we've all faced those moments where we think, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? But here's the truth. It's not the fear that stops us. It's how we respond to it that makes all the difference. Fear can either be something that paralyzes you or something that pushes you to take action. The choice is yours. Let me tell you, this fear is natural. Every successful person you admire has experienced fear. Every entrepreneur, every leader, every person who's made a significant impact in the world at some point, they've been afraid. But they didn't let it stop them. They learned to work through it, to face it, and to keep going despite it. Think about it. When was the last time you felt afraid to do something, but you did it anyway? Maybe it was speaking in front of an audience. Maybe it was starting a new job, or maybe it was taking a risk in your personal life. You were afraid, but you did it anyway. And what happened? You grew. You learned. You got better. Fear didn't stop you. It was a signal, a sign that you were stepping out of your comfort zone and into something new, something bigger. And that's how you grow. So how do you start to overcome that fear? How do you move past the self-doubt that tries to sneak into your mind? It starts with acknowledging that fear is just part of the process. It's not something to run from. It's something to embrace because it means you're on the verge of something great. The first thing you need to do is recognize that fear is often based on stories we tell ourselves. The mind can be a tricky thing. It creates scenarios, it imagines worst-case outcomes, and it fills us with doubt. But none of it is real. Most of the time, the fears we have are just imagined. They haven't happened yet. In fact, they may never happen. The thing is, your mind will try to keep you safe by avoiding what feels uncertain. It's trying to protect you from failure, rejection, and pain. But if you let that fear dictate your actions, you'll never move forward. When you start to recognize that fear is just a story in your mind, it becomes easier to separate fact from fiction. Yes, you might feel afraid, but that doesn't mean the worst is going to happen. It doesn't mean you're going to fail. It just means you're about to do something that takes courage. And courage isn't the absence of fear, it's taking action despite the fear. So the next time fear creeps in, acknowledge it. Say, I see you, fear, but you don't control me. And then take the next step anyway. The second part of overcoming fear is changing how you view failure. So many people are afraid to try new things because they're terrified of failing. But here's the truth, failure is not the end. Failure is part of the journey. It's feedback. It's an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to adjust your approach. Think of failure as a stepping stone on the path to success. Every successful person has failed at some point. The key is to fail forward, to use those failures as lessons that will guide you toward your next win. The more you can reframe failure as a natural part of the process, the less afraid you'll be to take risks. You'll start to see that failure doesn't define you. It's just a moment in time. It's not the end of the road, but the beginning of a new chapter. When you embrace failure as a teacher, you'll be less paralyzed by the fear of it. But fear isn't just about the big, scary things in life. It can also show up in the small, everyday decisions. It's the fear of making a change, the fear of leaving your comfort zone, the fear of doing something new. It's the doubt that tells you you're not good enough. You're not capable. You'll never make it, and let me tell you, that voice in your head is a liar. Whenever you hear that voice, you need to challenge it. Ask yourself, is this true? Is there any evidence to support this doubt? You'll often find that the answer is no. The doubt is based on nothing real. It's just your mind trying to keep you safe from something uncertain. But remember, nothing truly great happens inside your comfort zone. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, you have to take risks. You have to step into the unknown and trust that you can figure it out along the way. This is where faith comes in. Faith isn't about knowing exactly how everything will turn out. It's about trusting that you are capable, that you are resourceful, and that you have everything you need to succeed, even if you don't have all the answers right now. It's about trusting the process, even when you can't see the end result. When you develop faith in yourself and your abilities, fear has no power over you. You start to take action with confidence, knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. And here's something I want you to remember. You don't have to be fearless to be successful. You don't have to be this brave, invincible person who never feels doubt. That's not what it takes. What it takes is the willingness to take action, despite the fear, the willingness to show up even when you're not sure what's going to happen. It's about doing the work, taking the risks and pushing through, even when you feel afraid. The more you push through fear, the easier it gets. It doesn't mean you'll never feel afraid again, but it does mean that fear won't control you. You'll start to develop the courage to face anything that comes your way. You'll start to believe that you are stronger than any challenge, that you are capable of achieving your dreams, no matter how big they seem. So the next time fear and doubt try to hold you back, I want you to remember this: they are not the enemy. They are simply signals that you are growing, that you are stepping outside your comfort zone, and that you are on the verge of something incredible. Number 7, embrace hard work and discipline. It's so easy to get distracted by all the things life throws at us. We often look for shortcuts, or we try to take the path of least resistance. But what separates those who succeed from those who don't is simple hard work and discipline. And today I want to talk about just how essential these two qualities are for anyone who wants to make progress in life and reach their full potential. Hard work is one of those things that doesn't get a lot of attention, especially in a world where people look for hacks, magic formulas, or quick fixes. But let me tell you, there's no substitute for putting in the work. Hard work is the foundation of success. It's the daily grind that gets you closer to your goals. It's the willingness to keep pushing forward, even when things get tough. When you embrace hard work, you're telling yourself that you are committed to something greater than your temporary discomfort. But let me clarify something: hard work doesn't mean doing everything all at once, working yourself to the point of exhaustion or burning out. It's about showing up consistently, doing what needs to be done, and putting in the effort even when you don't feel like it. Hard work is about giving your best, not just when it's convenient, but when it counts the most. It's about pushing yourself to do the hard things so that you can build the life you deserve. Think about it for a moment. If you want to achieve anything worth having, whether it's a career, personal growth, or meaningful relationships, there will be obstacles. There will be times when you're tempted to quit. There will be times when you feel like you're not making progress or when the effort seems too much. But it's those moments, those tough moments, when you dig in and keep going, that will define you. Discipline is the partner that makes hard work sustainable. Without discipline, hard work becomes chaotic. You might start with good intentions, but without the structure and self-control to back it up, the effort will fade. Discipline is what allows you to stay on track, even when you don't feel motivated, when the excitement wears off, and when life throws distractions your way. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Let's be real, there will be days when you wake up and you just don't want to work. You'll feel tired, overwhelmed, or distracted. But it's discipline that helps you push through those days. Discipline is what keeps you on the path, even when your mind is trying to convince you to quit. It's about developing the ability to stick to your plan, regardless of your emotions or external circumstances. Here's something important to remember: discipline is a habit. It's not something you're born with. It's something you can build one day at a time. When you commit to developing discipline, you're making a promise to yourself that you will take control of your actions, even when things get tough. And that's when you start to see real progress. Now, let's talk about consistency. Because here's the thing: hard work and discipline alone won't get you where you want to go if you're not consistent. Success isn't about doing one big thing every now and then. It's about showing up day after day, doing the right things, even when you don't see immediate results. Let's say you're building a business, working on a project, or trying to get in shape. You're not going to see huge results after 1 or 2 days of hard work. But if you stay consistent, if you continue putting in the effort, no matter how small it may seem, you will eventually start to see the results. The compound effect takes over. Small actions repeated every day add up over time. But consistency requires discipline. It's not enough to put in the effort today and then slack off tomorrow. You have to keep showing up day in and day out. You have to make it a part of your routine, your lifestyle, your identity. When you do this, you'll find that success isn't something that happens by chance. It's something you create through your daily actions. And I know that sometimes the results don't come as quickly as you'd like. You might be putting in the work, you might be staying disciplined, but the progress feels slow. But here's the secret: it's always working in the background. Even when you don't see it, your effort is compounding. And one day you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. The key to staying motivated, even when you don't see immediate results, is understanding that success is a journey, not a destination. It's the small victories you celebrate along the way that keep you going. It's the understanding that every day you show up, you're getting closer to where you want to be. Hard work, discipline, and consistency aren't just about achieving goals, they're about becoming the person you need to be to achieve those goals. These qualities shape your character, your mindset, and your habits. They build the foundation of a successful life. But let me say this: success is never guaranteed. No matter how hard you work, how disciplined you are, or how consistent you stay, there will always be challenges. There will be setbacks. There will be setbacks. There will be failures. But those who succeed aren't the ones who avoid challenges. They're the ones who face them head on, who keep going when things get tough. When you develop the mindset of someone who is willing to put in the work, no matter the circumstances, you become unstoppable. When you build the discipline to show up day after day, even when you don't feel like it, you become unstoppable. And when you stay consistent, when you keep pushing forward, you become unstoppable. So I want to encourage you today, whatever it is you're working on, whatever goal you have in mind, stay the course. Don't get discouraged by the setbacks or the slow progress. Keep putting in the hard work. Build the discipline to stay on track and be consistent every day. Success is not just about achieving something, it's about who you become in the process. And when you commit to hard work, discipline, and consistency, you'll become the person who achieves anything you set your mind to. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing what you can when you can and pushing through even when it feels hard. And if you keep going day after day, you'll see that success isn't something far away. It's something that's being built every moment, every action, and every decision you make. Number 8, surround yourself with positive influences. You've probably heard the saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, let me tell you, that's not just a catchy phrase. It's a truth that shapes the direction of your life more than you realize. The people you surround yourself with will either lift you up or pull you down. The energy you feel every day, the attitude you have, the way you approach challenges, all of it is influenced by the people you choose to be around. And let me tell you, you've got to choose wisely. Think about it. If you surround yourself with people who are always negative, who complain about everything, who never take responsibility for their lives, then what do you think that will do to you? It's like trying to run a race with a weight around your ankle. It's going to slow you down. It's going to drain your energy, and it will make it that much harder to move forward. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who are positive, who take action, who are always striving to be better, those are the people who will inspire you to be your best self. They'll push you to think bigger, work harder, and reach higher. I'm not saying you need to cut everyone out of your life, but you need to be intentional about the people you let into your inner circle. It's about being mindful of who you allow to influence your thoughts, your decisions, and your actions. If you want to grow, if you want to achieve big things in your life, you need to find people who have the same mindset. People who are on a similar journey, who are committed to their own growth and who believe that anything is possible. Here's the truth, you can't do it alone. No one can. We're all social creatures. We learn from each other, we support each other, we challenge each other. But you have to make sure the right people are around you. You need people who will celebrate your wins and encourage you during your struggles. People who won't let you stay stuck, but who will gently nudge you forward when you need it. It's not just about being around successful people either. It's about being around people who make you feel better about yourself. People who encourage you to keep going when you feel like giving up. People who push you to be your best self, not just for them, but for you. These are the people who will make your life better just by being in it. But here's something important to consider. The people you surround yourself with should also challenge you. They shouldn't just tell you what you want to hear. If they truly care about you, they'll tell you the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. They'll push you to do the hard things, to step outside your comfort zone, and to take risks. You don't grow by staying comfortable. You grow by being challenged, by being pushed beyond your limits, and by taking those steps that scare you. And it's not just about people who are directly involved in your personal life. Think about the media you consume, the books you read, the podcasts you listen to, the shows you watch. These things influence your mindset too. If you're constantly consuming negative news, if you're always around toxic environments, your outlook on life will start to reflect that. On the flip side, if you fill your mind with positivity, with uplifting and inspiring messages, you'll start to see the world differently. So take a good look at the people around you right now. Are they people who are helping you grow, who are encouraging you to be the best version of yourself? Or are they people who are holding you back, who are comfortable with mediocrity, who are keeping you in a place where you can't grow? If you find yourself surrounded by the wrong people, don't be afraid to make changes. You don't have to burn bridges, but you do have to set boundaries. It's okay to distance yourself from people who drain your energy, who only focus on the negative, or who don't support your dreams. Your time, your energy, and your growth are too important to waste. But here's the beautiful thing: when you start surrounding yourself with positive, motivated, and successful people, you'll begin to attract more of the same. You'll start to notice that your mindset shifts, that your energy rises, and that you start making progress in areas where you felt stuck. You'll begin to feel more motivated, more excited about your future, and more confident in your ability to achieve great things. The truth is, no one can do it alone. We need each other. We need the right influences, the right people in our lives who will lift us up, who will challenge us, and who will help us grow. And when you start choosing the right people to surround yourself with, you'll begin to see the impact it has on your life. It's like this: the right people will make you feel like you can take on the world. They'll help you believe in yourself, even when you have doubts. They'll remind you that you're capable of so much more than you give yourself credit for. And when you feel like quitting, they'll be there to remind you that success is just around the corner if you keep going. So today I want you to think about the people you have in your life right now. Are they the people who are going to help you become the best version of yourself? Are they the ones who are going to challenge you to grow, to reach for your dreams, and to push past your limits? If not, then it's time to start making changes. Surround yourself with the kind of people who will help you rise higher, who will encourage you, who will lift you up. It's not just about the people you have in your life right now. It's about who you can bring into your life moving forward. Seek out mentors, find people who are doing what you want to do, who are where you want to be, and learn from them. Surround yourself with people who will inspire you to become the best version of yourself. Because at the end of the day, the people you spend time with are shaping your future. Number 9, cultivate gratitude and positivity. Imagine waking up every day with a sense of gratitude that powers you through even the toughest moments. What would that feel like? How different would your life look if you woke up every morning thankful for the opportunities ahead, no matter how big or small? Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools you can use to change your life. And when you cultivate it, it doesn't just change your outlook, it changes everything around you. Now, I want you to think about your daily habits for a moment. How often do you find yourself focused on the negative? It's easy, right? Life throws challenges at us constantly. Things don't go the way we want. People disappoint us, and circumstances aren't always in our favor. It can feel overwhelming at times. But here's the secret. The more you focus on the negative, the more you will see it. The more you dwell on what's wrong, the more it will consume your mind. But when you shift your focus, when you actively choose to see the good in your life, you unlock a powerful force for change. Gratitude isn't just about being thankful for the big things. It's about noticing the little moments too. The way the sun feels on your skin in the morning, the sound of laughter from a loved one, the small victories you have each day that move you forward. No matter how tiny they may seem, these moments matter. They count. And when you start appreciating them, you'll begin to see how rich your life really is. But it's not just about being thankful for what you have. Gratitude also shifts your mindset about what's to come. When you adopt a mindset of abundance instead of scarcity, you open yourself up to endless possibilities. You start to look at opportunities instead of obstacles. You start to see potential where others see problems. And that's a huge difference. Imagine facing a difficult situation at work or in your personal life. The bills are piling up. There's pressure to meet deadlines, and everything feels like it's going wrong. Now, think about how differently you'd approach that situation if you focused on what you were grateful for, rather than what's going wrong. You'd see things from a new perspective. You'd recognize that you have the strength to get through it. You'd see solutions instead of problems. And you'd have the energy to keep going because you're no longer drained by negativity. Gratitude also gives you a sense of peace. You see, when you're constantly thinking about what's wrong, you can't help but feel stressed, anxious, and overwhelmed. But when you choose gratitude, you choose peace. You choose to appreciate what you already have, and in doing so, you release the need for more to make you happy. You realize that happiness is not found in the next promotion, the next purchase, or the next milestone. It's found right where you are, in the present moment. But here's the thing, gratitude doesn't come naturally to most people. We've been conditioned to always strive for more, to think about what we don't have or what's missing. We've been taught to chase success, money, fame, and approval, thinking that once we get those things, we'll finally feel content. But in reality, the more you focus on what you lack, the more you feel like you're always falling short. Gratitude is a practice. It's something you have to actively work on every day. And when you do, you begin to see the world differently. You begin to notice all the things you already have, the people who love you, the skills you've developed, the progress you've made, and the opportunities you've been given. You begin to understand that you don't have to wait for the perfect circumstances to be grateful. Gratitude starts right where you are. Now, I know it's easy to say be grateful, but it's not always easy to do. Especially when life isn't going your way, when you're facing setbacks or when you feel stuck. But here's the truth. It's in those moments that gratitude matters the most. It's easy to be grateful when everything is going well, but the real magic happens when you can find something to be thankful for, even in the darkest moments. So how do you start? Start by making gratitude a part of your daily routine. Every morning when you wake up, take a moment to reflect on the things you're thankful for. It doesn't have to be a big list, just 3 things will do. Maybe it's the warmth of your bed, the love of your family, or the opportunity to create a new day. In the evening, reflect on what went well. Even if you had a challenging day, I guarantee there's something you can be thankful for. Another powerful tool is to express gratitude. Tell the people in your life that you appreciate them. Send a message, write a note, or simply say thank you. When you express gratitude, you not only lift up others, but you also strengthen the positive energy in your life. The more you give, the more you get. But here's the key. Don't wait for things to go perfectly before you start being grateful. I don't wait for the big win or the shiny new thing. Gratitude isn't about waiting for life to be perfect. It's about appreciating what's already here. Gratitude also connects you to others in a deep and meaningful way. When you're grateful, you don't just see the good in your life, you see the good in others too. You recognize the contributions people make to your life, whether it's a kind word, a helping hand, or a shared experience. Gratitude helps you build strong relationships because it shifts the focus from what you don't have to what you do have, and that is a powerful force. And as you continue to practice gratitude, you'll notice that your life begins to change. You'll feel happier, lighter, and more energized. You'll approach challenges with a sense of calm instead of stress. You'll see possibilities instead of limitations. You'll feel a sense of abundance rather than scarcity. The more you give thanks, the more you'll realize just how much you have and how much more is on the way. So, if you want to change your life, start with gratitude. It's a simple, powerful practice that will transform your mindset, your relationships, and your outlook on life. You don't have to wait for the big moments. Start today, start now. Be thankful for what you have and watch how your life begins to unfold in ways you never imagined. Gratitude is the key to unlocking everything you've ever wanted. Number 10, never stop evolving. You are never done growing. That's the truth. No matter how much success you achieve, no matter how many milestones you reach, the journey never stops. Every single day is an opportunity to evolve, and you owe it to yourself to keep pushing forward, learning and improving. Life is about constant growth, never settling, never thinking that you've reached the peak. If you stop evolving, you stop living at your full potential. And that's something you can never afford to do. You know, it's easy to think that once you've achieved a certain level of success, you've made it. You've hit a point where things are good, and you can just relax and coast. But that's the moment when you start to slip. The moment you think you know it all. That's when life starts to pass you by. The world is moving fast, and it's easy to fall behind if you're not committed to growing every single day. You have to evolve, adapt, and keep developing yourself. That's how you stay ahead. That's how you stay on top. Now, you might be thinking, well, I've been working so hard, Jim. I'm tired. Shouldn't I just take a break? It's okay to rest, of course. We all need rest. But growth doesn't stop. It doesn't take a vacation. And if you're not actively working to evolve, you're going to miss out on all the incredible opportunities that are out there waiting for you. Opportunities don't wait for anyone. They pass by quickly. And if you're standing still, you'll miss them. That's why you have to commit to continuous growth. Growth is the key to everything: personal growth, career growth, spiritual growth, financial growth. Whatever area of your life you want to improve, you need to commit to learning and evolving every day. It's not just about reaching the destination. It's about enjoying the journey, pushing yourself to be better, and striving to make today better than yesterday. But here's the thing, growth doesn't always look like success right away. In fact, it's often messy. It's uncomfortable. It requires stepping out of your comfort zone, challenging yourself, and doing things you've never done before. It might not always feel good, and you might not always see immediate results. But you can't let that stop you. You can't let fear, doubt, or discomfort hold you back. Because real growth happens when you push through those tough moments, when you keep going, even when it's hard. That's when you start to break through. Think about a time in your life when you were challenged. Maybe it was a difficult project at work, a personal setback, or an obstacle that seemed impossible to overcome. When you first faced the challenge, it probably felt overwhelming. You might have thought, there's no way I can do this. But then something happened, you pushed through. You learned something new. You grew stronger. And in the end, you were better for it. You emerged from that challenge a different person, more capable, more confident, more skilled. That's what growth looks like. It's about pushing past your limits and realizing that your potential is far greater than you ever imagined. When you choose to evolve, you choose to become the best version of yourself. And the best version of you is not just about success in one area of life. It's about becoming a well-rounded, fulfilled person who is constantly improving in all areas, physically, emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. One of the most important things you can do to ensure you keep evolving is to stay curious. Never stop learning. It doesn't matter how old you are or how much you already know. There's always more to learn. The world is full of new ideas, new skills, new perspectives. And the more you open yourself up to learning, the more you'll grow. It might be reading books, listening to podcasts, attending seminars, or seeking out mentors. Whatever it is, make learning a daily habit. And don't just learn for the sake of learning. Apply what you learn. Knowledge without action is useless. Growth happens when you take what you've learned and put it into practice. It's when you take the risk to try something new, make mistakes, and improve from those experiences. The best way to evolve is to constantly challenge yourself to do things you've never done before. But I'll tell you something important: growth can be hard. It can be frustrating. It can feel like you're making no progress, even though you're putting in the work. But the secret to growth is persistence. The key is to keep going, even when it seems like nothing is happening. Growth doesn't always happen in a straight line. Sometimes it feels like you're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. But as long as you keep moving forward, you are growing. And eventually you'll look back and see how far you've come. The best part about this journey of growth is that it never ends. There's no finish line. There's always more to discover, more to achieve, more to experience. And when you embrace that fact, you realize that life is an exciting adventure. You're never done. And that's a beautiful thing. Every day brings new possibilities, new challenges, and new opportunities for you to grow and evolve. Now, don't get me wrong. Growth requires hard work. It requires dedication. It's not something that just happens overnight, but it's the small, consistent steps that you take each day that add up over time. The way you talk to yourself, the way you approach challenges, the way you show up every single day, all of those things contribute to your growth. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep moving forward. So ask yourself today, what can I do to grow? What small step can I take right now that will get me closer to becoming the person I want to be? And then do it. Start right now. Because the sooner you commit to evolving, the sooner you'll start seeing the incredible changes in your life. You've got so much potential. And if you commit to growth, you'll unlock it all. Every day is an opportunity to become a better version of yourself. Never stop evolving. Because key to living a life that is fulfilling, meaningful, and full of possibility. And don't let fear or complacency hold you back. Keep growing. Keep learning. Keep improving. The best is yet to come. And it starts with the decision to keep evolving every single day.